Welcome to another edition of Source Selection Soundbites. Today we will discuss required CO competencies needed to establish key personnel qualifications in the solicitation. The CO is a member of the acquisition team. Within that team, the CO must lead with knowledge and persuasion, as well as ensuring all laws and regulations are observed en route to choosing a source to support agency requirements. One of the key skills the CO should master is recognizing the service type the solicitation supports. There are simple services that are strictly driven by outcomes that are more transactional, and there are long-term contracts that are relational and require many interdependencies between government personnel and contractor employees. Some of the long-term contracts require key personnel to oversee administrative functions or professional employees who all need to have a basic level of experience, certifications, and education. Once the CO identifies the service type, the CO is in a good position to work with the acquisition team to identify the correct number of key personnel needed to support the requirement. In addition to identifying the correct number of key personnel the contracting officer needs to consider the qualifications themselves. While the acquisition team must identify qualifications that increase the likelihood of successful contract performance, there is a tendency to lean toward gold plating. Gold plating is adding nice-to-have features that are not necessarily needed to successfully perform. Given these tendencies, it is prudent for the CO to examine the years of experience, education, and other qualifications, and question whether they are legitimate minimums required qualification to do the job effectively. For example, if the program states that a SME must have 20 years of experience and a PhD, the CO should ask whether 20 years of experience is the minimum number of years of experience required to effectively execute the requirement, or whether it's just a nice-to-have. The PhD should also be questioned to determine if it's the minimum education required to successfully execute the position. This probing ensures the agency has expressed its minimum requirement and has a rationale for it. This information is helpful to establish requirement, and it can be used as a defense should the agency's requirements be challenged as overly restrictive. Closely related to the last subject is categorizing qualifications as minimum or preferred. Minimum qualifications are qualifications that the candidate must demonstrate in order to be viable. Failure to meet the requirement usually means the proposal is unacceptable. This should be clarified with the team because sometimes you'll find that the team actually wants to be flexible with the qualification. If this is the case, Productivity Partners recommends moving it from the required to desired column. Desired qualifications still have an evaluation consequence, but they avoid eliminating proposals for failure to meet or exceed one or two qualifications, and it allows the agency to assess more credit for those who meet or exceed them. Another reason to move requirements to the desired column is when using the federal supply schedules. All minimum requirements must be supported by the FSS labor category, but desired or preferred characteristics need not be encompassed by it, because they are not mandatory. The CO should also seek to banish ambiguity from the requirements. If you say it's a minimum requirement, then mean that. If the team wants flexibility, then make the qualification preferred. In addition, be clear on what the requirements are. Sometimes the agency asked for a bachelor's business administration, but they mean a bachelor's in any business major. The bachelor's in business administration is very specific, so the CO should ensure the acquisition team knows the consequence. If the acquisition team states any kind of business degree, the CO should ask for some examples both for understanding and setting examples forth in the solicitation. In addition, the CO should ask if they will accept substitutions of years of experience, or whether two concurrent jobs will be counted. The answers to such questions can drive ambiguity out of the solicitation. In this episode of Source Selection Soundbites, we discussed required CO key personnel competencies. This concludes today's Source Selection Soundbite. If this video was helpful, hit the like and subscribe button to ensure you don't miss any new material. If you want more details on the subject, They are available on the Source Selection Answer app. It contains lectures, quizzes, court cases, sample documents, and more material that allows practitioners to quickly obtain actionable knowledge. Thanks for watching. See you next time.